Hell of a story, hell of an update. Missouri Attorney General wants to charge a teen in a viral moment, put up the picture full mask, a teen who got into a fight, it went viral, wants to charge the teen as an adult, okay? And there's more backstory involved. So per Atlanta Black Star, Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey is being called out for insinuating diversity, equity, and inclusion policies contributed to the viral video that left a 16-year-old Kaylee Gain unconscious. That's the insinuation. Gain's family provided an update Friday on her condition, saying she is now stable. She is breathing on her own. The family lawyer, Brian Kimmerer, shared that, quote, in the past few days, Kaylee has been able to engage in limited verbal conversations. We're glad that she is recovering. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. The physical altercation, which made national headlines between Gain, a white teen, and Mernice Declu, a 15-year-old black student, occurred near Hazelwood East High School on March 8th. With other local leaders quick to condemn the incident, which was captured on video. It shows the young Marnice slamming the young Gaines head into the pavement. Everybody saw that. That slam resulted in a fractured skull. Later, Marnice, who was identified by her parents in a change.org petition, was taken into custody and charged with assault. Marnice's attorney revealed Gain was suspended from school the day before the brawl. And the Gain family confirmed this. This separate fight with another individual was the precursor to the fight that left her hospitalized. The petition called on officials, specifically Chief Juvenile Officer Rick Gaines, to review her case with compassion, adding she was harassed and bullied at school and was only defending herself. In response to the incident, Bailey said that Marnice should be, quote, tried as an adult, end quote. A sentiment shared also by Gaines' family due to, quote, the particularly violent nature of this assault, and also taking into account the devastating injuries that Kaylee has incurred, reported KSDK. A hearing is expected to take place in early April as the teen is still being held in custody at a juvenile facility. Last week, Bailey, a Republican, sent a letter to Hazelwood School District and announced that he's spearheading a probe to examine how its radical DEI programs resulted in such despicable safety failures. He is referring to the statement of solidarity that was implemented in 2020 after George Floyd's murder to, quote, seek to achieve greater equity and eliminate systemic racism and harm to our students, staff, and community. So he's blaming that statement on what happened. And he's saying, I'm going to spearhead an investigation because that's the reason this whole thing has happened. He's simply making a political play here, throwing red meat to the base that's clueless and basically like zombies. And they will eat anything as long as you cover it in DEI, and he knows this. All right, so Bailey said during the interview with Fox News, safe haven for all things racist, quote, Hazelwood owes the parents of the district and the entire community an explanation as to what role these radical programs and safety failures played here. Bailey added that the school has DEI programs that promote racial divisiveness at the expense of having uniformed police officers present on campus. However, officials debunked his allegations and other inaccuracies in a scathing response, noting that the incident took place outside of school hours and it wasn't even on the campus. So even if you had, more resource officers, they would have been A, off duty, and B, it didn't even happen on the school grounds. All right, put up the picture full mass. Hazelwood School District Attorney Cindy Reed's Ormsby addressed his claims in a March 26 letter and accused him of conducting an incomplete investigation. You don't say, DA, and spouting falsehoods. What? He spouted falsehoods. You mean to tell me that the diversity, equity, and inclusion mantra was not the reason that this happened? It's unbelievable that the damn DA has to say this, okay? That he was spouting falsehoods for his own political agenda, according to the district attorney. Bailey pointed the finger at local media for the errors in the statements. KSDK noted the reports he cited in his letter come from years ago. Ormsby nevertheless questioned in her response, do you value white student safety more than black student safety? Question mark. The takedown continued. Do you honestly believe, again, without any official verification or specific knowledge, that the fight on March 8th was a result of a racial issue between the female students that was caused by the HSD belief and the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion for all? Do you represent all citizens of Missouri or only the white citizens? Question mark. Per KSDK, district employees have been met with backlash and threats since Bailey's statements. Ormsby said they are looking into pursuing legal action. The district is looking at all its options here. It's not backing down, she said. We're looking at whether or not we'll file an ethics complaint. And you should, you got to, because this guy put people in danger. Quote, I believe his most egregious error in his original letter to the school district was to jump to the conclusion that the fight between the two high school females was based on race. Ormsby told the outlet, the mother of the accused attacker is also concerned the incident is flaring up racial divisions and political strife. Let's go to Missouri's NAACP conference president. We have Nimrod Chappell. Also issued a statement calling out Bailey's lack of response when black students face discrimination on campus, some even killed. Chappell wrote, Bailey's blind eye to racism when the victim is black is telling, but the use of the investigative power in his office to lift the harm suffered by a Caucasian student while ignoring the black victims is nothing short of Jim Crow, end quote. This is a mess, right? So you have two children. Obviously, their lives are completely transformed, changed adversely because of this action that likely had a serious cause and effect that did not get remedied at either the administrative level or perhaps in the peer-to-peer level, whatever it may be. That is a discussion for that school system to have and for those parents to have. Naturally, if there's criminality, there has to be accountability, but we understand that they are juveniles and juveniles make immature decisions. I know I made many of them as a juvenile myself. But then the AG coming out saying we're going to charge as an adult or insinuating this. The heavy-handedness of it all is simply red meat. Once again, utilizing a child for your political pawn. And then blaming the entire thing on diversity, equity, and inclusion, not understanding the genesis of the actual conflict because you chose not to do a real investigation, but to simply rely on your bias and do an interview on a national news network without vetting anything. I do hope they file not only a complaint against you and your office, but the private citizens that you have adversely impacted by your careless comments. So you're not immune from them having charge against you in civil penalty. I do hope they exercise their full rights. Mr. Mayor, thoughts here?
Yeah, listen, there's a couple things at play. I mean, we downsize the fact that there's contemporaneous information, notes, complaints written by this 15-year-old that she was being bullied.
Yep.
She was being bullied. And because she's black and people want to, demonize her in this manner. I don't know if you noticed or not, the Attorney General in his statement said this criminal needs to be charged as an adult. It's inhumane. If you keep listening, how they're trying to otherize this young lady and make her something other than human, it is traditional white speak. And for him, he's not wrong in his thinking and the way that people that see the world, the way that he see the world. It is DEI that is responsible for this, because his definition of DEI is integration. And we keep missing that. He's saying the quiet part out loud. His definition of DEI is integration. And the world should be where white people don't have to spend their time in the same spaces as black folk. Unless black folk, of course, are serving them in those spaces. And as you said, these are two young folk. What we didn't mention, what always happens with white people, happened with Kyle Rittenhouse, who went across state lines with a long gun and killed people because he was threatened, even though he went across state lines to kill people, is that this young black woman has no history, no criminal history. And we should know that anyway, because if she did, or any behavior history, it would have been all over the news. What we do know is that she's an honor student and an athlete that was bullied because she said this before the accident happened. So none of that will be played or considered because of her skin color. And the tragedy is America is comfortable with doing what's about to happen to this young black lady.
Yeah. That's why we have to continue to shine light in places of darkness. All right, we'll bring you updates as they come.